How is it going, Bears fans? Welcome back to another episode of Beared Down Uncut, where we talk everything Bears every day of the week. Is Eddie Jackson the best safety in the NFL? And if not, where do you rank him in the league? We're going to be answering these questions and many more today in episode 31 of Uncut. Welcome back to the show, guys. I would like to say, if you are new to the channel, stumbling upon this video, and you want Chicago Bears content every day, do us a favor, subscribe, click the bell for notifications whenever we post, and like the video. We're trying to hit 1,500 subscribers by the end of the month. I am your host, Chris Malpe, and today I am joined with my co-hosts, Parth and Jaylen McClinton. Before I ask how they do, I would like to say this is our second video in a week responding to a Matt Miller take, so we're going to delve a little bit into that take in a couple of minutes. But Parth and Jaylen, first off, how are you guys doing?
Just chilling, haven't done much all day, so, it's start to grind out, I guess. It's already 5 p.m., but let's do something now.
Yep.
Just trying to get this work done. I still got a month left of school, taking it day by day.
So I had 12 hours to write a 6-page essay, and I completed that this morning. I am done with my freshman year of college. I'm getting older. I'm getting up there. But let's get right into this one. It's the summer now. It's time to grind, so let's get right into it. Matt Miller, Bleacher Report's head draft analyst, was asked this morning who his top safeties were in the league. And he gave us a pretty good list of 10 safeties that he thought can all be competitive for being the best safety in the league. So I'm going to read it off to you guys right now. Number 1, Jamal Adams, Derwin James, Tyrann Mathieu, Minkah Fitzpatrick, Kevin Beared, Anthony Harris, Harrison Smith, Earl Thomas, Budda Baker, and Justin Simmons. Parth, I'm going to go to you. I think we all know who's missing here, but if some people are confused, would you mind telling me who the safety missing from this argument is?
Eddie Jackson. Come on. How could you ever leave Eddie Jackson out of any top 5 safety list? And we're talking about a top 10 here. Like, what the heck? Yeah, so Eddie Jackson, just to go over his stats a little bit here, just to prove to you guys how valuable he is. 26 passes defended in 3 years in Chicago. 4 forced fumbles, 5 touchdowns, 2 of them off of fumble. He's had 5 fumble recoveries, 2 of those for touchdowns. He's also had 3 pick sixes in the league. Not to mention, he has also had 10 interceptions in 3 seasons. He's a 2-time Pro Bowler, 1-time first-team All-Pro. I think it's absolutely ridiculous not to include him in this conversation. Jaylen, when you saw this take by Miller, and this isn't the only bad take that Miller's had in the last week or so, because obviously we recorded about him saying the Bears were going to be the second worst team in 2020. When you saw this take, what was your thoughts?
So literally, I just saw it a couple minutes ago when you sent the screenshot to our group chat. I was surprised. I had to go to Twitter myself to see if it was real, and it is. I just think that's crazy how you can leave off a 2-time Pro Bowler, 1-time All Pro, and only 3 seasons of being in the league. Last year he scored 3 touchdowns, and he scored more touchdowns than some offensive players, and he played DB. So I don't know how you can leave a person with that much talent off a top 10 free safety list. Like Parth said, maybe even a top 5, but I was definitely shocked.
Looking at Eddie Jackson, the Bears signed him to a 4-year, $58.4 million extension this offseason. $33 million guaranteed. I think it's really well-deserved for Eddie Jackson. Also 184 tackles in Chicago, a QB hit, 8 tackles for loss. He's had impressive accolades all over the place. I remember I was at the Carolina Panthers game in 2017 when he returned 2 touchdowns, 75 yards of the house, 1 a pick 6 off of Cam Newton, and another was a fumble recovery. This dude is a ball hawk. I think you cannot include him, or can't not include him in a top 10 list, much less a top 5. So, Jaylen and Parth, I want to ask you guys next, where would you rank Eddie Jackson among the top 10 safeties in the league? Parth, I'm going to start with you.
I'm going to say top 3. I'd love to put him at 1 or 2, but I think it's between him and Jamal Adams, in my opinion, and Harrison Smith's also up there for me. So I'm going to give him top 3. I feel like another year or 2 of consistent top-level play from Eddie Jackson would definitely put him at the top. But, yeah, top 3 is where I'd put him at right now.
I'm going to say top 2, and I think it's a toss-up between him and Jamal Adams for the number 1 spot. My number 3 would probably be Minkah Fitzpatrick, and my number 4 would definitely be Harrison Smith. Look, you look at Eddie Jackson, I mean, he's an absolute ball hawk. He's going to be back at free safety in 2020, and he's going to look to have a dominant year. And he wasn't even that bad at strong safety in 2019. He still made the Pro Bowl. He still had 60 tackles. He still had a fumble recovery. He still had 2 interceptions, and still had a forced fumble. I mean, obviously his most productive year came in 2018 when he was at free safety, and that's what's so intriguing about the Bears moving him back there in 2020 alongside Deshaun Gibson. But you look at him, he was able to do it still, even at strong safety. And even though I guess people can call it a down year for Eddie Jackson, he was still incredibly dominant on this Bears defense. Teams avoided him the entire season, and that's why I would say he's a top 2 safety in my mind. Jaylen, I'm going to pass it to you. What would you rank Eddie Jackson as far as safeties in the league go?
I think he's one of the best. I'm going to go top 3. I think he's better than Jamal, but Jamal is really the only safety in the league that gets him a run for his money because Jamal's been doing it like Eddie since they've been in the league. And I also think Tyrann Mathieu's up there too. Minkah Fitzpatrick has only did it for 1 season, which was, this current season that we just got done with. So I wouldn't put him, over Eddie, who's been doing it consistently until Minkah does that. Then we can talk about him being one of the best. But I'm gonna put him top 3. This season, he didn't have a better season than he did last year. He was still great in coverage. He gave up less touchdowns this year than he did in 2018. He's not seeing the same amount of interceptions because he's not getting targeted. Quarterbacks know that if you throw Eddie's way, then he's, going to come down with the ball if you give him an opportunity to. So they don't target him. But Eddie's definitely a top 3, top 2 safety in the NFL.
I absolutely agree with you, and he's coming off one of the biggest safety extensions of all time. Obviously, we all know that he's going to be joined in Chicago with Deshaun Gibson. Another interesting duo there. Deshaun Gibson coming in off of being cut by the Houston Texans, but still looking to be productive there after he had 51 tackles and 3 interceptions in 2019 for the Texans. Next question, this is a pretty simple one, and I'm pretty sure we're going to hear pretty similar answers from all of us. But out of all the safety tandems in the league, where would you rank, or just out of all the secondaries in the league, I guess, where would you rank the Bears' secondary? And out of the top 10 safeties in the league, this is assuming that Eddie Jackson finishes top 10, where do you think he finishes in 2020? I'm going to go first. First off, I think the Bears have a top 5, top 3, almost guaranteed defense in this league. And I think it doesn't really matter where you rank the secondary. I mean, it's always going to be able to force turnovers. And if not, it's going to give you a gosh darn hard time throwing the ball. As far as Eddie Jackson goes, I think the idea of him being back at free safety and also having an experienced veteran at Deshaun Gibson on the other side is going to be very interesting because, you're not going to want to throw towards Deshaun Gibson. You're not going to want to throw towards Eddie Jackson. You're not going to want to throw towards Kyle Fuller, and I guess that leaves you with throwing towards Jaylen Johnson, and you're definitely not going to be able to throw towards Buster Screen the entire time with how Chuck Pagano draws up the defense. So overall, I think Eddie goes back to his dominant ways in 2020. I think overall he's a better player when he is at that strong safety position. I think that's undoubtable. He was still productive in 2019 there, but Clinton-Dix was obviously the one playing free safety, and that hurt him a little bit, being someone more that's there in the box. But overall, I think Eddie Jackson, undoubtedly has another really productive year in 2020. I think he's a Pro Bowler, and I gosh darn believe that he will be a top 5 safety in the league. Parth, I'm going to pass it to you. Where do you think you would rank this Bears secondary as far as the NFL teams go? And how do you think Eddie Jackson finishes in 2020?
I think I'd put our secondary at like a top 7. There are some holes here and there, but I think top to bottom, the defense is the best in the league. If you look at our front 7, our linebacker core, it's just there is not that many holes or any holes at all on this defense. I think that helps the secondary as well. Guys like Jaylen Johnson, who's a rookie, won't get picked on as much due to our front 7 just being such dominant. Now talking about Eddie Jackson, I think he finishes top 5 and has one of his best years. I think he'll definitely have a better year than last year. A few more turnovers. It's going to be hard to replicate that 2018 season he had. That was historic. 6 interceptions, couple touchdowns, and the interceptions he had were just awesome to watch too. Against Detroit, that pick six he had to seal the game on Thanksgiving was awesome, and that Sunday night interception when the Bears and Vikings played it out for the top of the division on I think week 10 or 11. That was another great interception he had too.
Yeah, Jaylen, what do you think? Where does this Bears secondary rank, and where does Eddie Jackson finish in 2020, being back at free safety?
For the secondary, I say we finished top 3. Off the top of my head, there's only really 2 secondaries on paper that I believe are better than us, and that's the Bills and the Ravens. Both of those teams have a couple all Pro Bowlers and All Pros on their defense and secondary. And with Tashawn Gibson, we don't know how he's going to play out, in Jaylen Johnson being a rookie. We have to see what they do in the first year in our defense compared to those people being in the defense longer. So I say top 3, and then with Eddie, I definitely feel like he's going to be back in top 3 form. He's returning to free safety this year, where he had his best seasons in his rookie and second year. Hopefully he gets his interception numbers back up. Maybe we see a couple of touchdowns from him in the season again, because he's definitely capable of doing it. He did it multiple times in the season that he's got a chance to. That's about it.
I mean, I think it's undoubtable that Eddie Jackson, in our minds, is a top 5 safety. We may be biased, but he at least is top 10 in the league, and I think we can all agree that that's a horrible take by Matt Miller. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to episode 31 of Uncut. If you want more content from us, head over to our website, bearddown.com, for more content, columns, articles, and blogs on there. If you are on Instagram, you can find the links to our fan pages down in the description, and you can also follow the podcast on Instagram and Twitter at Beared Down. I think you're seeing this at about 6:30 on Wednesday night, and it looks like we will have another episode up soon predicting the Bears' 2020 record post-draft at about 7:30 or 8, so stay tuned for that. That'll be going up tonight. Another double upload. We're getting pretty used to those. Parth, Jaylen McClinton, any last words, fellas?
Stay safe. Hopefully we can have. I was just reading about the NBA and MLB maybe coming back in the next month or so that'd be nice to have back. I've been missing some baseball and basketball.
Yeah, definitely. Eddie's a top safety. Make sure you guys are staying safe. Practice social distancing. Hopefully everything returns to normal sooner than later. But that's about it.
That's about it for us, guys. Thank you guys for tuning in with us. Do us a favor, like the video and subscribe if you're new. And as always, Chicago, stay safe and bear down. Peace.